Good morning, everybody, and welcome to CFO Coffee Talk, brought to you by the Florida CFO Group. I'm Phil Nahieski in Orlando, Florida, and we've got CFOs from three markets this morning to talk about CFOs in retail. Coming from St. Petersburg is Joanne Dempster. Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning.
And in Delray Beach, Barry Brover. Good morning, Barry.
Good morning, Phil and Joanne. Great to be with you.
You know, one of the cool things about being a Florida CFO Group partner is having partners with expertise different than yours and that they're willing to share it. So that's what this morning's about. Barry and Joanne share a rich experience in the retail space that I don't have, and I'm eager to hear the war stories. So, Barry, I know you've got multiple decades in the retail world. Tell us about it.
Yes, thank you, Phil. I was the chief financial officer at Barnes& Noble College Booksellers, where I worked for over 30 years. We had over 750 physical stores, each with a unique customized website to meet the needs of each individual campus. Early on, we embraced selling on the web and actually developed an omni-channel approach to selling, where we allowed students to order online and pick up in the store. Such an important part of our success.
Very good. You were ahead of your time then with omni-channel. You know a lot about that lately.
Yes.
Joanne, tell us about your background in retail.
I actually come from a background of both a combination of very large company retail experience and then some small to medium-sized retailers. I spent a number of years at both Walt Disney World and Home Shopping Network. And in addition to that, was with a lighting technology distribution company and a technology distribution company. So all different types of products, however, a common theme in terms of oversight and controls, et cetera.
And I always look at those of you with retail CFO experience as fearless monster fighters because you've dealt with many of us dealt with the elephant in the room. The three elephants that retail CFOs have dealt with are Walmart, Amazon, and COVID. Barry, tell us a little bit about your monster fighting experience.
Yeah, well, Amazon first started in the book business. They were Amazon, along with all their marketplaces, was a big competitor of ours. And, you have to beat them on service. You got to beat them on service and making sure that you take care of your customers. Very hard to compete with them on price.
Joanne, any monster fighting stories?
Well, I think Amazon is one of those things we all run into as we move and consult at different companies. The challenges of making the decisions on which business model you want to even just be with Amazon on, the FBA versus the FBM models, and there's any myriad of varieties of requirements and compliance that comes along with those different models and fees and penalties as well. So it's very interesting.
FBA, FBM, it sounds like some inside baseball. What is that?
Fulfilled by Amazon or fulfilled by merchant.
Okay. Thank you for translating.
No worries.
So, one of the taglines for the Florida CFO Group is grow, optimize, protect. And that tagline transcends industries. Let's talk about what it means for the retail CFO. Barry, how, as you, as CFO, helped your client grow?
Well, growth for a retailer is all about growing sales. And there's two ways to grow sales. One is to open more stores. The other is to figure out how to increase your sales in your existing stores or your comp stores or on the web. So a major focus of driving profitability and growth is about trying to, juice the top line.
Very good. Joanne, what's your perspective?
I totally agree with Barry. I mean, the ability to measure the same store growth, in addition to the ability to launch new stores and or channels, in the omni-channel model is huge this day and age. And to get that presence that you need in the marketplace and the reach, it's critically important to sales growth in the long term.
I actually read, just following up on the omni-channel, I actually read something this morning that more and more retailers are looking at their stores not just as showrooms, but actually as service centers and distribution points to be able to have a more integrated retail experience and to be able to provide improved service to the customers.
When you say that, I think of the Apple Store, Barry. They're taking that approach. So I read a stat. It was that 59% of Americans now prefer online shopping and 41% prefer in-store. And then there's my wife who prefers both. I can say that because she never watches the shows. But then there's omni-channel. Barry, tell us a little more about what omni-channel is.
Omni-channel is using the web to allow the customer to be able to purchase their product, but then have a seamless integrated process where they can return to the store, pick up in the store, do exchanges. And in essence, the web is almost like another register within the store, and you allow the customer to be able to pick up and choose what they want. It's critical. I mean, the most frustrating thing for a customer is to go into the store and to be able to return or ask questions and the store say to them is, "Oh, you bought that on the web? Well, that's different." Mm-hmm. Well, that's not the customer and the brand experience that you want. It should be totally cohesive, seamless, and fully integrated for the customer.
Very good. Joanne, what's your
perspective? I totally agree. I think the opportunity to not only have the company-owned web experience and to Barry's point, improve that customer service level, you've got to do that. I think there was a lot of transition to trying to perfect that model back in the day because there was that separation between the in-store franchise versus the web franchise. So I think that more and more they're becoming much more integrated. And these days you have the opportunity then to also turn around and add additional channels to that experience and go live with any number of different electronic distribution. I mean, Shopify particularly offers many small businesses the opportunity to launch and then connect to different distribution networks. So.
Yeah, they've made it easy for the small retailer, haven't they?
Yes, very much so.
Joanne, tell me about the role of analytics in the retail space.
I mean, I think it's just huge. Back in the day, we would have, physical inventories periodically, you'd have to count your inventory levels throughout the year. These days, the ability to track and measure the sales of products, the demand forecasts, especially if your supply chain, getting far enough upstream that you're not going to be out of stock on your products, your big sellers during critical seasons. So analytics gives you that, and really combining the analytics that you have in terms of sales and inventory with the social media opportunities, marketing, advertising, it's huge. So, and the ability these days to have big data, looking at all the different elements associated with the products in a variety of different views and reporting techniques is just, I mean, it can leverage a business where they can grow incredibly rapidly.
That's a critical part of the business. Barry, how did Barnes & Noble use analytics to help it?
Yeah, I mean, real-time information, you get it so timely, nowadays, and to be able to understand and analyze what is in someone's shopping cart or basket, and what product do they see associated with something else. It allows you to be able to maximize your sales by trying to increase that shopping cart or basket. And then from the information that you derive online, you're able to leverage that in store. So is that same product that's selling online, is that front and center in the store? Mm-hmm. If they're buying, the hat with the shirt, am I merchandising those together in the store on a table, so there's a better chance of the customer picking up both while in the store. That's what it's all about. Once you have a customer, once you have a transaction, how do I increase their spend and the amount that they'll purchase from me?
Very good. So, Joanne, how do retail CFOs help optimize their businesses?
Well, to begin with, the managing of the working capital, the ability to optimize your cash, be able to accurately forecast your spend and your cash needs is critical for a business to grow. When you have your inventory levels, you need to make sure that you're always in control of your inventory levels while also being in an in-stock position on those large demand items that you desperately want to keep in stock. So there's you can't be short-sighted when it comes to the value of having on-hand inventory, but there's also a lot of careful measurement that has to take place in order to make sure that you're really at the optimal inventory levels.
Very good. Barry, what else can a CFO do to optimize the retail business?
Understanding your cost structure. I mean, we talked about growing and increasing sales. Now it's trying to leverage your fixed expenses and maximize your flow through on those incremental sales. So more and more of those sales flow to the bottom line and generate the cash and produce the working capital that Joanne talked about. So being able to lock in those fixed costs and leverage them is what it's all about.
So growing, optimizing, and protecting. What protective measures do retail CFOs take, Barry?
So I guess, protection today, nowadays, the big conversation is the shrink and the inventory loss in the store. So actually interesting that you mentioned that. We don't talk about that a lot, but it's been a big challenge for the retailers today, protecting your product. And the best way to do that is make sure you have great employees servicing the customer.
And maybe some armed security based on some recent news stories.
Yeah, not the best always.
Yeah. Joanne, what protective measures come to mind for the retail CFO that Barry didn't mention?
Well, I think for the big leap for some of these small retailers into the true growth trajectory comes along with the implementation of the proper systems, these ERP enterprise-wide systems that are needed. You're able to then measure not only the sales at the product level, but also you're looking at customer performance. You're looking at sales over time. You're looking at
so important.
How many households you're in. There's just a huge amount of data that comes out of that. But it's a challenge for the companies. But one of the things I think that's critical, especially with reoccurring customers, is to make sure that you've added all those what I would call back office controls that are needed to make sure that the credit worthiness is there. You don't want to sell something and be excited and then turn around and not actually collect the monies. So having a full-blown ERP system will just and a WMS system that allows for efficient scanning and inventory accuracy, all those things bundled together are just huge.
And not take your customers for granted.
Yes.
Because your future is based on those customers, and those customers repeat buying from you.
Yeah, I think all the inventory in the world won't sell if you've made your customers angry. So
great points.
So both of you have expertise to share with Florida retail businesses. The best way for them to get a hold of you, I think, is to go to our Florida CFO Group.com website. On our profiles pages, you'll see all the profiles, which will have the ability to reach out and call or email Joanne and Barry. So please reach out, retailers, if you want to tap into their expertise. We're getting near the end of the show, and it's our tradition to finish up with a one-sentence key takeaway from each of you. Joanne, you have the honors to go first.
I think the omni-channel opportunities are huge for some of these small to medium-sized businesses and, quite frankly, even some of the larger ones. But there's a huge amount of compliance associated with being a company that sells into multiple channels, and I think that accurately predicting the costs of the labor associated with some of those different SLAs that you're signing up for, because all of them are different. All the big box retailers are different. I think that's just critically important for everyone to think about.
Very good. Barry, your one sentence key takeaway. Take us home.
Data and metrics are key. And if you want to improve something, measure it, set a goal, and monitor and celebrate your success.
Excellent. You guys were awesome. Hope we see our audience back for next week's show. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
This was fun. Thank you.